Welcome back, guys. Months ago I said I will stop developing the mod until February next year. Well, I did stop for a day, and then I couldn't stop myself and just continued. So I guess you can call it a Christmas present update, because it's time to create some bus lines. PTM2 alpha version 0.4.6.29, featuring 2 buses and simple transport lines. Coming right up. This version makes 2 buses operational, PTM1354 and PTM1360. It also adds basic transport lines functionality. Traffic points are also redesigned, and cars can now change lanes. More signs have been added and a lot of bugs have been fixed. However, this version can still contain a lot of bugs, and we will be fixing those soon. I also have to point out that since the development doesn't earn me any income, the wiki page has been moved into the mod itself. It can be opened from the smartphone or the computer. Now I will show you how to create a simple bus line. First, you need to build all the roads and add all the traffic points. Then you need to create the station zones in the map editor. Each station zone must have a platform zone inside it. To build the bus stops, you can use the bus stop pocket tool and the waiting pavilion tool, and of course a lot of different signs. Once you have created the roads, bus stops and the zones in the map editor, then you can actually create the line. The Vehicles tab does not work at the moment, so just ignore that. This functionality will be implemented later when realistic schedules and depot functionality will be added. So first, if we create a new line, then we need to choose the start station and the end station. If you wish, you can add a name for the line, which will be displayed instead of the station names. Here we can actually set which vehicles should be on the line. Since at the moment only 2 buses are working, if you leave it empty, it will use only PTM 1354 bus, and if you specify here 1360, then it will use only the articulated buses. And if you write both numbers here, then it will use the both buses randomly. From here, click the little plus icon to create trips. In my case, I have 2 trips. 1 trip and then the opposite trip. So now let's edit the trip, edit stops, and now we can actually click on the map on the platform zones that we created earlier to form the route. The driving route that the bus will drive on is marked with a green line. And then you can do the same process for the other trip and choose the platforms for the opposite route. And now from here you can choose if it will use a simple schedule or a realistic schedule. Since realistic schedules are not available at the moment because it's still in development, so you can only use the simple schedules at the moment, which is kinda similar to what it was in PTM Classic. So in here you can set up the intervals for different days and different times. I already have to point out that this does not work correctly, and we're working on fixing those issues. So it doesn't really matter at the moment which intervals you will put here. Now if you want to check that the transport line is fully operational, you can go to operational data, and from here you will see we do not have any issues. So now we can open the map editor, and we're at the moment in the editing mode. But if we click on this pencil, it will switch into view mode, and we can now switch on the transport vehicles, and we can switch on the stations. So now we can see the stations, we can see the vehicles, and if we click on the station, we can see the departures for that specific platform or bus stop. If you want to take a bus and actually drive it on the route yourself, then this functionality is not fully implemented yet, but it will kind of work. The passengers will not get on and off, but you can still drive it on the line. So if you sit in the driver's seat and right-click to start the bus, Then if you now Alt plus right click, it will open the display setup menu. So in here you can choose the bus line, from here you can choose the direction, and according to that it will display information on the bus displays. There is no way at the moment to check the schedule while driving the bus yourself. I will do something about that in the future. Your bus departure time will actually show up on all of the departure boards. If you have any more questions, then feel free to reach out in our Discord server. I will be releasing small bug fix and stability updates regularly. The plan is to make few trams and trolleybuses operational next, and after that we might add the realistic schedules and depot functionality. But it will take time, and it might never happen at all. I remember saying to Marcus last April when I was in London that I'm almost on the edge of throwing the whole mod to the trash. So keep in mind that this can still happen, and keep an eye on the Discord server dashboard channel to get the latest updates information. Well, I think it's not enough, but who cares?